Well, all right, hold on. Here we go. I don't know what's going on here. Sorry, folks. Let's try this. There we go. Awesome. Happy Saturday night, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
We got Scott Schur and his dad Steve in the house. Hey, guys.
Good evening.
Good to have you here. Mary Ellen, a treat to always have you here.
Thanks, Dean.
You're welcome. We got Tim already here. Hi, Tim.
There's Tim.
Tim says "Who gang," and I know exactly what he means. Who gang? It's a gang from Asia. Hi, gang one. Hey, Michelle the Quilter. Good to
Hi,
have you here.
Michelle.
Good to have everybody here. Third time's a charm. All right. Tim, good to have you here. Michelle, Scott, Steve, Mary Ellen. First off, the news. Let's talk about the news. We were just talking a little bit about it. Tim, maybe you've heard there was a fire at Epcot today. And I don't have many details, but other than I saw it was in the France pavilion. And I don't think anyone got hurt. And that's about all I know. Hey, Keith. We got
Hi, Keith.
Keith here. Hey, pal, do you know anything, Keith, Tim, about this fire at Epcot? Or is that about it? It's just we know there was one. Lots of smoke.
Did they have to evacuate people?
I don't know. Yeah, it didn't say. It was a very short article, but just came up. Michelle did not hear about the fire. Okay. Well, it just happened in the last few hours, I believe. So there you go. Some news. News to Keith as well.
Yeah.
I did the Mickey blog, heard it was a dumpster fire. Okay. Well, then that makes me wonder if it was vandalism. We were out all day, so no idea. First hearing of it. Okay. Hi, Elisa. Good to have you here.
Hi, Jersey girl.
Jersey girl. All right. Are you guys ready for some fun?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this. All right. Saturday Night Variety Show. Thank you for everybody swinging by. We got some fun games and interactions, so you know the drill. Let's do this. All right. First off, I'd like to do a huge shout out to my sponsors. First off, the neighbor dogs. And actually, when I say shout out, I'm just shouting at them to shut up. Okay.
That poor dog looks like it's stuck.
Yeah. And then I'd also like to thank my grandma. And grandma, if you're watching, you still owe me $2. All right. Hey, we got Orange Cone Vlog here. I almost said Orange Clone Vlog. Nice to have you here. So yeah, grandma, she sponsors my show. Or you can pay me in chewing gum, grandma. All right. And thirdly, I'd just like to say Nails. This show is sponsored by Nails for your hammer.
Oh,
All right.
Nails.
Nope. The pound kind. All right. 20 questions. Are you ready, Scott? All right. Mary Ellen, Steve, ready?
Ready.
All right. We got some more people joining us. Hello, Mandy Adams. I have not seen it yet. I watched Movie Mania Nick's review, and I think that's where I saw it, and sounds like it's not fantastic, to be honest. Hiya, Dean.
Hi, Dean.
Good to have you here. Thanks for swinging in. All right, here we go. Now, 20 questions. I am a person. Hint number 1. I was an Olympic champion. And I think it's okay if you all guess as you wish.
Mark Spitz.
Mark Spitz, you remember him? Yeah, I do.
Oh, no. Simone Biles.
Simone Biles. Good choice.
That's
All right. And then Keith or Lisa saying Bruce Jenner is not Bruce Jenner. And all right, you guys don't have and Jim Thorpe.
Muhammad
he-
Ali.
Was he was a pitcher? Muhammad Ali, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, boxing.
I think you might be onto something, Mary Ellen. I was born with the initials CMC.
Cassius Clay.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Nice job.
That's quick.
Olga Corbett. Yep, I remember Olga, gymnastics. Nadia Comaneci. Oh, man,
This
yeah.
is weird, guys. I don't usually get the answer right.
Oh, it was a great guess. Let's look at the rest of the clues. I wear gloves at work,
Mm-hmm.
so that might have been a big help.
Gymnastics.
I rumbled in the jungle. Okay,
Yep.
Steve, big question. Who did he fight in the Rumble in the Jungle?
Oh my God.
Testing you out here.
Wasn't Frazier, was it?
It was Frazier.
Way to go, Steve.
Nice call. All right, and then finally, I float and sting. That would have been a pretty dig. Good job, Mary Ellen.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Lisa.
And Lisa had it as well. Yes, Joe Frazier, Rumble in the Jungle. All right.
Then we
Great
had
job.
the Thriller and Manila.
That's right. Thriller in Manila. That's right.
I used to
All
like boxing.
Muhammad Ali was such an iconic, he made the sport very fun. It didn't do him well in the end, did it?
No. Too much rope.
That sounds like a magical thing from Disney World. What's that noise?
Oh, that is a thing on my phone that alerts me when there's someone out in my driveway.
It's the ring doorbell ring.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And sometimes my younger son, is in and out the door 50 times a night, and that thing keeps going off. So I'm gonna have to silence it, or him.
Yay, Mary Ellen. Tim says I did. Yeah, he was in the Olympics, and you were right, Lisa. It was Joe Frazier. And yes, Orange Cone Vlog, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. All right, cool. All right, let's move on. Oh yeah, Muhammad Ali. What was Joe Frazier's nickname? I'm asking all these questions.
Boy. I'm trying to think of the newscaster that was always
kind of
close to Muhammad Ali.
Was it Howard Cosell?
Yeah, Howard Cosell,
yeah. And I believe he was, Smiling Joe? You might be right, Orange Cone Vlog. I was thinking it was Jumpin' Joe. Oh, well.
Tim says Smoking Joe.
Smoking Joe. Maybe they all sound
all of
right.
The above.
All the above. I think Lisa's confirming. All right.
John.
Hey, John, nice to have you here. All right. And if you haven't heard, there's been a fire at Epcot. I'm going to keep mentioning that because I think it's going a little fast. In the France Pavilion.
You heard it here first, guys.
You heard it here first. We're not on scene. All right. Next. Now look at the question here closely. What is the official tagline of Disneyland?
Ooh.
You mean like most magical place on earth?
Yes.
Kind of tagline?
That kind of a thing. Yes. Orange Cone Vlog. Happiest place on earth. And that is correct.
Ooh.
Happiest place on earth. And now the next question, what is the official tagline of Disney World? Mary Ellen?
The most magical place on earth.
You got it. There's actually two. Does anyone know the other one? And I'll give everybody a little chance to. Our Cars Land Rules. Yeah. I've not been there yet on that one. So Michelle had it as well, the most magical place on earth. And there's another one, and I'll show you. John. Oh boy, isn't that the truth?
That's true.
I think Tim and John had the same thing in mind. That's hilarious. It is the most magical place on earth, and where dreams come true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good one, guys. All right. Great minds think alike. Swampiest water on earth. You know, I hate to say it. Every paycheck comes on Thursday. Did I miss somebody? Oh, hey, there's Nick. Hi. Oh, chat moved. Hi, Movie Mania Nick.
Hi, Nick. We were just
Nice.
talking about you.
Yes, we were. We were talking about your review of Snow White. All right. Moving on. All right. Wits and wagers. You remember this one? I think this one's going to be extinct pretty soon. I think we're running the course on this one. All right, here we go. In what year did the number of cell phones surpass the number of landlines worldwide?
Lord.
Steve and Scott, you guys collaborate together and come
Yeah.
up with
What is it, Scott?
it. Mary Ellen? Okay, we got some guesses here. John is saying 96. Tim is saying 91.
I'm going to shoot for 2000.
That's what I was going to say, Steve.
Oh, they beat you to
Trying
it.
to think when the cell phone, the peak of the cell phone.
Yeah.
He's going for 2002.
Okay, 2002, 2008 for Keith,
Hi,
2000
Emily.
for Emily. Hi, Emily. Nice to have you here.
Hi, Emily.
All right, so Scott, I think you said 2002.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then Orange Cone says 2003. John says that's the year I think my wife made me get one. Oh. That's funny. All right. Mary Ellen, you said 2000, right? Or did
Yes.
you? Okay, and Steve said that as well. 2002 from Scott. Okay, let's see the answer. It is Scott. You nailed it.
My goodness.
2002.
Way to go, Scott.
Yeah. Congratulations. We don't often get it right on the money, so that gets a lot of extra points right there. All right. Next question. In what year, on the cell phone subject, was the first cell phone call made?
Welcome in, Monarch Miracles.
Well, really? Monarch Miracles, nice to have you here.
I'm going to say 1970.
I'm not doing a good job of keeping up with the chat. Sorry. 1970 says Steve.
Yeah.
1981 says Orange Cone Vlog. Emily saying 1970. Lisa saying 79. Monarch Miracles saying 75. Keith saying 72. 71 from Scott. Okay. Mary Ellen?
I was going to say like 82.
Okay, 82. Nick is saying 73. John says 91. Orange Cone says 73. Tim says 81. Michelle says 78. We got lots of guesses on this one. All right. You'll have to remind me what you said, but let's look at the answer. The answer is 1973.
Nick got it.
Got it on the money. Nice going, Nick.
Orange Cone Vlog.
And Orange Cone Vlog. Nice going, guys. All right. Very cool. How do you like that phone?
It's huge.
I remember those. I remember this comedian talking about No, I'm not. Never mind. I forgot. All right. Look at the size of that phone. I know. That's what I was thinking, Emily. And you were so cool to have it.
But there's still a payphone in the background.
Yeah.
That lady's
Yeah.
on a payphone.
Those are a thing of the past.
I remember in the 80s pagers to get my bookie. I mean, I remember having the pager, and I would be on call when I worked at Unisys or Sperry back then, and I had to carry home eventually a laptop. It wasn't a laptop. It was a 50-pound computer I had to bring home.
Oh my.
I'm not kidding. It was 50 pounds. All right.
Did the first cell phone, did you see it in Star Trek?
Oh, is that where it was?
Yeah, remember the communicator phone that they'd flip open? The flip phone?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So Ray Bradbury must have thought that up, huh?
Yeah. Right. Hey, that's a good point. What were they called, though?
They called him a
Flip
communicator.
phone.
Was it just a communicator?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was.
It always had that kind of a click, click, click thing when he opened it up.
Yep.
Made a funny sound.
Monarch Miracle saying, I think it took till 75 to connect, though. Communicators, says Tim. I think Tim is a Trekkie.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
I've been a Trekkie for a long time.
Me too.
Met
Me
James Doohan one time.
Who'd you meet?
James Doohan.
Oh, yeah, Scotty.
Yeah.
That's cool. I liked Scotty.
Yeah, I've got an autographed picture around here that he gave me. He was at a car show in Indianapolis one time.
Okay. All right. So Orange Cone has an answer already. New Zealand in 1893 is their guess. What country was the first to let women vote? Was it USA, Sweden, or New Zealand?
Ooh.
USA says Michelle. New Zealand says Lisa. New Zealand says Tim.
You going with New Zealand, Scott?
New Zealand as well.
Yeah, boy.
I'm going to go outside the box and say Sweden.
Okay.
I'm going to go with you. I'm going to say Sweden too.
Sweden.
Yeah.
All right.
Spread it around.
I think the New Zealand is kind of taking it here, though. Emily says New Zealand. All right. Well, I'll give you all another 15 seconds for them to come in. Keith is saying New Zealand. All right. The answer is definitely New Zealand, and I think Orange Cone Vlog knew a little bit about it. 1893 is correct. Became the first self-governing country in the world to give women the right to vote in parliamentary elections. So, fantastic. Most of you got it. Congratulations. Scott, you got it as well. All right. We're moving on to buzzword. Oh, I don't know if anybody heard that there was a fire at Epcot today. It was in the France Pavilion. Nobody got hurt. We heard from a reliable source it may have been in a dumpster.
Or they burned croissants. I don't know.
Was Ratatouille involved?
Yeah, right. That's what I was wondering. French bakery.
That's right.
All right. Fire, says Lisa. In fact, there was a fire at Epcot. All right. Buzzword. Example. For this game, I show the example. If the word was first, foremost in quality would be first rate. But tonight's word is a little easier, I think. The word is honey. Okay? Honey. See how I'm stalling? I'm delaying. I'm drawing this out. I'm looking at the time. I'm like, we're going to be done in a half hour tonight. All right. A taffy-like candy bar. Now, you guys, Mary Ellen, Steve, and Scott, you have to raise your hand if you know what it is. A taffy-like candy bar with the word honey in it.
Come on. Oh, okay. Got an idea.
Steve's got it. All right. I don't see the right answer in the chat yet. Oh, there we go.
Way to go, Michelle. Oh, and Orange Cone Blog.
Orange Cone, Michelle, and Emily. Bit-O Honey. Did you ever, and so did Tim. Did you ever get those guys, Steve, Mary Ellen?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I used to
A
get
long
it.
time ago, but then it sticks to your teeth. And
Not only that, but they were hard a lot of times.
Yeah. I used to get them at the movie theater.
Oh, is that right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it. They were all right.
Yeah, sometimes when you go into Cracker Barrel, they'll have a lot of those candy bars, that, you know, when you were a kid.
That's true.
Yes, I like that. Like a Mary Jane.
Like a Mary Jane. That's true.
Interesting.
Moon pies.
Moon pies. Man, those I miss some of those old candy bars. All right, great. Next one. Oh yeah, Bit-O Honey. Wax pockets inside a hive.
Lisa said they used them to get rid of baby teeth.
Maybe.
And then Emily said it too.
Really? That's funny. Okay, Michelle coming in first with the right answer. Honeycomb. Emily got it. Hey, Annie Cook. Nice to have you here.
Hey, Annie Cook.
She's got it right. Honeycomb says Orange Cone Vlog. Keith is honeycone. You spelled it wrong. Honeycombed. Wow. They're very similar there. But I think you all got the right answer. Nice to have you here. All right. Yes. Honeycomb. Honeycomb. Honeycomb.
There's Billy.
Yeah.
Hi, Billy.
Hi, Billy.
Nice to have you here.
Taking care of the dog.
Billy, did you hear about the fire at Epcot?
No.
Oh, there was.
The word's getting around.
Yes. I meant to bring that up tonight. There was a fire at Epcot in the France Pavilion.
He set things on fire.
Uh-oh.
He burnt the
Was he making too much?
well, he's burnt the croissants.
I understand, John. Those darn small phones, hard to type. You need the old BlackBerry, right? All right. Honeycomb. Next one. Israel, according to the Old Testament. I thought this one might be a little bit tougher.
Mm.
I think I know, but
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about, John.
oh my gosh, John. You need a
Oh.
new phone.
Emily coming in with the answer. Land
That's
of
what I was
Milk.
gonna say.
You were. Well, she got it first.
Oh,
Way to go, Michelle.
Land of Milk and Honey. Michelle, Emily, right. Land of Milk and Honey. Y'all got it here. Nice job.
Steve, are you trying to?
I was the Promised Land.
The Promised Land, but that doesn't have the word honey in it.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Not awake yet.
All right. Cool. All right. I think there's one more. Yep. Land flowing with milk and honey.
Lisa, I'm not sure, but I heard there was a fire at Epcot.
What? Oh my gosh, we should talk about it. What can you tell us?
One thing I see in Israel is sand. I don't see no milk and honey.
True.
That's true. All right. Next, is there one more? Oh yeah. Scott, maybe you know this one. A movie where the father accidentally miniaturizes his children. Mary Ellen's got it.
Who played in it? One of my favorite actors. One of yours too. Ooh.
Emily got it.
Emily got it. Did you get it yet, Scott? What's that movie? Yep.
It's about kids. Little kids.
Hi, Kay.
Let me tell you who was in it.
Come in.
Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis. I love Rick Moranis.
No. Do you want me to tell you?
I know you like that movie, Scott.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
We took our kids to that playground too, Michelle.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Man, everybody's coming in with this one. Oops, my chat
Didn't
just
they,
went off.
didn't they have that down at Disney World? Yeah.
Hi, Rachel.
Well, hello, Ray. And Kay Wilby's here. Hello, Kay. All right, I wanted to get everybody's. I mean, we got time here.
Hey, Rachel, did you know there was a fire in Epcot today?
Well, I heard that too.
Thank God we
Great.
got off the Pennsylvania thing.
Rachel, if you're available to come on, we really would like to discuss the fire at Epcot. All right, you guys all got it. Kay, good to have you here. Rachel, great to have you here. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. John, Keith, Tim with his abbreviation, Histica. Nice job.
That's true, Nick.
Nick would have gotten it too easily, so he was
He
very
said the show
gracious.
at Disney was Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
But you know
Took the
what?
kids to the playground.
Rick Moranis was in Ghostbusters too.
Oh, that's
Remember
right.
when he was being chased? He was the key keeper, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why you said Ghostbusters. Yeah.
oh, okay. Right, Rick. John's watching the NCAA. Nick says the show at WDW is Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. That's correct.
Lisa wants to know if the fire was in Pennsylvania.
I heard Epcot.
Epcot to Pennsylvania.
France, Pennsylvania. Similar.
All right, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Oh, there's one more. A getaway for not the bridge and the groom, for Pete's sakes. Getaway for the bride and groom.
Oh, I was going to say, that's tricky.
This one should be fairly simple, I think.
Ooh.
All right, Emily, boy, she's coming in
Emily's
fast.
quick.
I think she's got good internet. No, she knows stuff. Annie Coog, Honeymoon. You all got it. Yeah, I know, Tim. It was a typo. That's my Pennsylvania for the night. All right, honeymoon. Great job, everybody. Hope not. I'm flying out of Philly. Oh, yeah, right. Honeymoon, unless at Disney, then it's a Disney moon. Ah.
Oh.
She does have good internet. Nice. All right. Yes, honeymoon. Perfect. All right. Moving on here. Is this? Oh yeah, time for movie quotes. I know Scott likes a good movie. We always talk a little bit about movies before the show starts. And all right, tonight's first movie quote is, "Always let your conscience be your guide." Anybody have an answer?
It's from a Disney movie.
Snow White.
Snow White, he's guessing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mary Ellen, Steve,
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio. I see a lot of Pinocchios in the chat. Pinocchio. There's Jim. Hiya, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Pinocchio. Orange cone with
Yeah,
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio. Because I know I've heard it. But...
Jiminy, says Tim. Yes. And the answer is Pinocchio. Always let your conscience be your guide. I love Pinocchio. That was a great movie. Kind of.
I always get Snow White and Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah, but Jiminy Cricket's not in Snow White.
No.
I like Jiminy Cricket.
Don Corleone. All right. I mean, I know what you're saying, Annie. There's a part of that movie, as a kid, I got kind of upset when I
It is
saw
a little
it.
creepy.
Yeah. All right.
Ooh.
Next movie quote. Gooseberry pie, hooray, she stays. Scott?
I have no clue.
You don't have any clues?
I think you know this movie because I think you might have recently referred to it.
Gooseberry pie. Hmm.
If you guess this, Scott, I'm gonna give you $1 million.
Oh,
$1 million.
I have no idea.
Gooseberry pie.
Hooray, she stays. Well, Annie Coog coming in with the right answer. It
Who
was
says that?
one of the dwarves. Hi, Jason.
Oh, like Doc. Hi, Jason.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Aurora.
Aurora. Mama Goose. All right. Yeah, that does sound like from a what do you call them? A limerick. It is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Okay.
Hey, Gloria.
Hi,
Nice
Gloria.
to have you. Say, I know you all know this already, but the Thibodeaux might not know. And there was a fire at Epcot, and we just want to mention that. Okay, and I won't drag that
France.
on.
In France, not Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's in France. All right. All right.
Nick said, "Yep, the new film is different." Oh, I'm glad that you took it one for the team.
I know. I rely on Nick now. I was disappointed to hear. Thank you, Lisa. Yes, fire at Epcot. France, in fact. All right. Okay, this is my new segment called Dean the Mind Reader. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Now, I don't want you all to be frightened. I mean, there's nothing deeply spiritual here. There's ways and techniques to read people's minds, okay? And so this is a new mind reading technique that I've been working on. Didn't want to tell you that in advance, but it's really quite simple. I will say something, and I want you all to think of the first thing that comes to your mind. All right? Do you get it? All right. Now, ready? You can go ahead, Mary Ellen, Steve, Scott, you can just say whatever comes to your mind, but I want everybody to put also in the chat the first thing that comes to your mind. And I'm going to try to guess.
Well, then you're going to know.
Well, I mean, I've got something prepared, so you'll see. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I'm ready to think about this. Okay, think of any state. What was the first state that came to your mind, Mary Ellen, and everybody?
Confusion.
Confusion, the state of confusion. Emily says Louisiana. All right, Lisa says Pennsylvania. Mary Ellen, what did you say?
I believe the first thing popped in my mind was Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania for you as well? A lot of confusion out there. Massachusetts, Pennsylvania.
Scott's going with Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania too. We got Florida, Washington, Wyoming. Well, I'm going to add up the one that had the most, all right? And I believe that now, just so you know, I have not collaborated with anyone in advance, not even Mary Ellen. I'm thinking, and I've come up with Pennsylvania. All right.
It's the best state ever.
It surely is. And that leads to our next question, which is, what famous person was born in Pennsylvania? Was it Jimmy Stewart? Was it Martha Stewart? Was it Oprah Winfrey? Or was it Babe Ruth? And I'll tell you, it's only one of them. Thank you, Rachel. Yes, it was.
I'm going to guess Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart from Steve. All right.
Scott's got Babe Ruth.
Yeah,
Babe
I'll
Ruth?
go with Scott, Babe Ruth.
Okay. Martha Stewart from Emily. Annie Coog says Babe Ruth. Lisa saying Martha. Jim thinks it's Jimmy Stewart. Kay thinks it's Jimmy Stewart. Michelle says Babe Ruth. And Nick says Jimmy Stewart. And Keith says Jimmy Stewart. All right. Any more answers coming in?
It's split.
The answer is Jimmy Stewart. Nice.
How sweet.
I believe it was close, but Jimmy Stewart, and there's a museum for him. Did you know it, Steve, already?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
The
No.
baby was born in Baltimore. Oh, you mean Babe Ruth?
Oh, yeah, that is correct. The babe was born in Baltimore. Yep, that is true.
I was like, who had a baby?
Stewart from Saturday Night Live. Yeah, you're right, John. He definitely was Marilyn. He was such a good actor. I loved his movies too, Emily. Still
Me
love him.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was in the Air Force.
Oh, and that's right. And you were too, right?
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, he was a B-52 pilot.
Wow.
Mhm.
Oh, that's cool.
So henceforth, the spirit of St. Louis.
Oh,
Ah,
really?
Yeah, and he was also in a movie called Philadelphia Story. He played a
Yeah.
lawyer.
Yep.
yes.
I've been by his childhood home, says Annie. Tim, but he was the same character as in almost all of them. Yeah, there was a distinctiveness. And he was big radio before he was movies. Yeah.
Him and Henry Fonda were very good friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they were roommates when they were in New York or something, and they were learning acting and everything and trying to get into it,
Huh.
that they roomed together.
Okay. Keith says he was in the house he was born in. Wow. And Michelle says my father was in B-52s in the Navy. Wow.
Mhm.
He was. What's SAC mean?
Strategic Air Command.
Okay.
Mhm.
Boy, John, you've done everything.
He really has.
All right. Moving on.
Remember the movie Dr. Strangelove?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was he in Dr. Strangelove?
No, that had Slim Pickens in it. He was the pilot of the jet.
Yeah, I remember Slim Pickens. That was the one mainly with the Pink Panther actor, right?
Yeah. There were a lot of big names in that.
Yeah. All right. And all right. In what year did India? I thought this one was probably be a little bit easier to guess. In what year did India gain its independence from Britain? See how smart you all are.
He was in the movie Gandhi.
It sure was. Oh, James Earl Jones' first movie. So he was in that, huh? Wow. All right. Mary Ellen, Steve, Scott, any guesses before they come in on the chat?
I'm going to say 1950.
Okay, 50. And Emily says 40s.
Scott says 60.
60.
Mhm.
Tim says 45. Jim says 50. John says 48. Jason says 45. Gloria says 46. Did you guess yet, Mary Ellen?
No.
Gandhi in the movie Gandhi.
No clue.
What is that?
I just heard there was a fire at Epcot, and not Pennsylvania.
Nope, not Pennsylvania.
He says 49. Annie says 49. All right. Now, Scott, you said 50, right? Oh, 60. You said 60.
And I said 50.
And you said 50. Okay. And Kay says 45. All right. Mary Ellen, I haven't heard a guess yet.
I'll say 42.
42. All right. The answer is, and I don't think anyone got it exactly right, 1947. There was people like John was one away, Gloria was one away. I may have missed some. India gained independence from British rule at midnight, August 14th, 15th in 1947. And boy, that's the real Gandhi. That actor, what's his name? Ben
Yeah.
Kingsley.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Man, he looked like Gandhi.
He really did.
He was Schindler's List, too.
Yeah. Wow. Just amazing actor, too. A great actor with Ben Kingsley is Searching for Bobby Fischer.
Mm-hmm.
If we haven't thrown that one out yet. All right. Bonus question: what is the current population of India? Well, look who decided to join us here.
Hello.
Hey, Rachel.
Hi. I don't have headphones today, so hopefully you can hear me.
We can hear you great. Can you hear us?
Yes, we're good.
Well, glad you could join. And by the way, did you hear about Epcot?
You know, the place is just on fire today, I guess.
Just on fire. I mean, literally. That's right. All right. Well,
It's funny. Everybody was streaming from there today, so I guess that checks out.
I know, right?
Yeah, I saw that. Okay. So here's the question, and John came in right away with what a guess. What is the current population of India? John says 1.4 billion. Tim says too much. As you can see from the picture. Everybody's saying hi to Rachel. All right. Hi, Rachel. Did you hear about the fire? All right. Key says 400 million. What you're going to say, Steve?
I'm going to say 2 billion.
2 billion.
Mhm.
Emily says pretty big country, a few billion.
Scott says 3 billion.
3 billion. Jim says 800 million.
Wow.
You're a little overpopulated there.
Yeah. Rachel, Mary Ellen?
2.5 billion.
2.5 billion?
1.5 billion.
1.5 billion, says Rachel. She's right on board with Jason. 1 billion, says Gloria. All right. The answer is 1.5 billion.
What?
Who was that? Somebody said that.
Rachel said it, and
Jason?
Gloria, I believe, said it.
Jason.
Oh, Jason said it. Jason said it. And then John had said 1.4 billion really early on, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't know the answer. I just guessed, but got lucky.
Scott could have called his doctor. He has a doctor that is from India. He can't. His last name is very, very hard to pronounce, so they call him Dr. Pradeep, which is part of his last name.
Okay.
And he's over there right now visiting his family. So
Oh.
I was going to say we could call him and find out, but he's out of town.
And if I hadn't mentioned it here, I'm now working for an India-based company, one of the fifth biggest company in India, called Wipro, WIPRO.
Do they know there was a fire at Epcot today?
I don't know. We should try to let these 1.5 billion people know. And hi, Donna. Good to have you here. All right. Next, what movie is this? Now, for my folks here, raise your hand if you know. Steve, Scott, Rachel, Mary Ellen. Let's give everybody a chance. What movie? And if we got Nick in the house, watch out. And Jim.
If I can
I have a guess, but I don't think it's an accurate one.
Okay. I'd like to hear that guess.
My guess is The Birds.
The Birds, the Alfred Hitchcock film.
They look like they're afraid of something.
Donna, I have some news to share with you. There's been a fire at Epcot. You heard it here first, folks. And it's in the France Pavilion. We believe it was just a dumpster fire. Nobody was hurt. And that's it.
You probably get that in your WDW news tomorrow.
Lisa said not the birds.
Not the birds. So she's going against your guess there.
Oh, look at Jim.
A Hard Day's Night. All right. She did hear about it. Where did you hear about it, Donna?
It's like an older movie.
Glasses may help, John. Yes. At least it wasn't in Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's the next pavilion. Didn't you hear?
Oh, that's a good choice. An Evening at Chippendales, says Jason. I don't believe so.
Way back in the 40s or something.
I guess I could see that. All right, next picture, folks. Oh, this might make it a little more for one of our movie connoisseurs.
I got an idea.
All right, Steve.
Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane. I was just going to give the chat, I'll give them another second to catch up with you, but I am going to say it. Steve is absolutely right.
What?
And I could,
Citizen Kane.
I could tell. I could see Orson Welles' face.
Yeah, that's right.
Way to go, Steve.
Nice job.
One of my favorite movies.
And you know, it's considered by many people the greatest movie of all time.
Yep.
Now,
And
I think it's kind of depressing, to be honest. But
it is.
Jim had it as well, Citizen Kane. And let's see, what did Donna say? I heard in the annual pass holder group on Facebook, they had video and everything. Yeah, I saw the video from the Skyliner, Donna. And yeah.
It was based on a true person, wasn't it? On William Randolph Hearst.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Did not know that. All right, congratulations to Steve. I don't think I've seen that. Well, Emily, I know that Emily likes classics like we do, but I'm going to say Citizen Kane was not one of my more favorite movies. Just a little depressing.
That
But
one
it's
and Gone with the Wind.
yeah,
Two very classic movies.
very very much so. All right, I'll go through the rest of the pictures. Definitely a shot of Orson Welles there.
Yep.
John said, yes, I heard that and turned it off after 30 minutes. Boring to me, my opinion, of course. Yeah, understood. And then this one, Rosebud. Was that the name of his sled?
Yeah.
Yeah. It all came down to his sled in the end.
I think it was from his childhood.
It is a depressing movie. I've only seen it once. I saw it once and was not impressed. Okay, overall, I don't think we cared for that movie. And there he is. Orson Welles. Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
All right, Scott, we are to your favorite part. Best actor. And Jim says, Gloria never saw it. Jim says Citizen Kane was groundbreaking in terms of movie making. Yeah, Orson Welles was a genius, by the way.
Yeah.
And not only was he a genius in movies, but he was a genius in radio. And if you ever hear some of the old radio shows with him in it, he is just a notch above the acting. I mean,
War of the Worlds.
now the ending is ruined for me. Tim, I know you knew
Sorry,
that already.
Tim.
Yeah, he's famous for War of the Worlds.
Yes,
Yes.
War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
Man, that was freaky. All right. Time for Best Actor. All right. You don't have to wait. Give it to me right away. Christian Bale. I like to start with Scott, if I may. Christian Bale or Jeffrey Rush?
No.
Christian Bale, did you say?
Yeah.
And did you like him in Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured you were a Batman fan. All right, Christian Bale. So, and John also says Christian Bale.
I'm going to go with Christian Bale.
Christian Bale says Lisa. Steve says Bale. Gloria says Christian Bale. Jason says Jeffrey Rush. All right, we got to vote for Jason. I mean, for Jeffrey.
I'm going with Jeffrey Rush too.
Jeffrey Rush. You know what movie he was in that was so good? Is that piano player one, whatever that was called. Shine, I think. Christian Bale says Donna. Bale says Nick. Bale says Keith. Christian Bale says Michelle. Jeffrey Rush says Emily. Christian Bale says Jim. I believe the Christian Bales have it.
I'll throw
Now-
in one more vote for Jeffrey Rush.
Oh, sorry, Rachel. I didn't mean to.
That's okay. I'm outvoted, but that's all right.
Jeffrey Rush. And Mary Ellen, you said Bale, right?
No, I said.
Oh, you
Jeffrey
said
Rush.
Jeffrey Rush. That's right. Rush is very talented, but Bale absolutely owns all his characters. I mean, Christian Bale is pretty amazing.
Did you like Christian Bale as Batman better than Michael Keaton?
I have a hard time saying that because I was rather attached to Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. But Christian Bale in that Ford versus Ferrari movie, the fighter movie,
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
did that movie with Matt Damon.
I more Ferrari.
He likes Ford versus Ferrari.
that's a good movie. Yeah, Jason, great point. Jeffrey Rush was amazing in The King's Speech.
Yeah.
He was the teacher.
Mm.
Bale did a great movie as a kid. Yeah, well, he was in the musical. I can't think of it. The Newsboys,
Newsies?
not the Newsies, but was it the Newsies? Anyway,
Mm.
Bale's been acting for a long time. Michelle says, I like Jeffrey Rush in The King's Speech too, besides Pirates. Right. Jeffrey and Pirates, yeah. Only Clooney was worse than Keaton. You didn't like Keaton? I'm a big Keaton fan. It
Yeah,
was
Nick says Newsies.
It was Newsies. Okay, thanks, Nick.
Hmm.
All right, next one. Harrison Ford or Mel Gibson? Rachel looks troubled.
Yeah, this is a hard one.
Mel Gibson. You go with Mel Gibson? I go with Harrison Ford.
Okay. All right. All right, let's see. Was it a tie, Emily? I thought Christian Bale seemed to have it, but maybe I'm wrong. I better go back and count. Okay, on the Harrison Ford, Mel Gibson, we got 1 for Ford, 2 for Ford, 3 for Ford, 4 for Ford, 5, 6, 6 to 1, 7 to 1. Yeah.
I'm
8
going
to
Mel Gibson too.
7 to 2, 7 to 3 then. So 8 to 3, 8 to 4, 9 to 4. All right. Yes. We all
I'm
can
going
have-
Harrison Ford as well.
Okay, 10 to 4. All right. Now, does anybody, Harrison Ford is one of the biggest money generators in Hollywood ever. But Mel Gibson also has one of the biggest independent movies ever, if not the biggest, right? I believe. So, all right. Well, I believe Harrison Ford. Moving on. Scott, did you have any movies that you would like to say you loved either Mel Gibson or Harrison Ford in? Yeah, one of his best works.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. All right.
American
Next.
Graffiti.
That's right. That's where you got to start. In fact, Lucas didn't want Harrison Ford in Star Wars because he was just in his other movie, but he made a good choice.
Yeah.
Christian Bale was in Empire of the Sun. That's right. He was young in that. Both incredible actors. All right. Harrison Ford, moving on. Who was in Apocalypse Now?
Martin Sheen.
Yeah, Martin Sheen and
Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando, but I don't know of
Robert Duvall.
Yep.
Who else?
Smell of Napalm on a Sunday.
Yeah, I always liked him when he was in the helicopter playing Ride of the Valkyries.
Huh. So he's saying Harrison Ford was in Apocalypse Now. I never knew that.
I think he had a small part in it.
That's interesting. Huh. Boy, he had to be pretty young. All right, next one. Jamie Foxx or Ben Affleck? Oh, see, here's Tim with some other interesting information. Harrison Ford and Mel Gibson were together in the 2014 film The Expendables 3. I did not know that.
I'm going to go with Ben Affleck.
Okay. Ben Affleck?
Yep. Scott?
Jamie
He just wants to be different. Jamie Foxx.
Okay, good. All right, Rachel.
I'm going with Ben.
All right, 2 to 1 in favor of Ben. Mary Ellen?
Neither.
Neither? You don't like him?
I guess Jamie.
All right, so that means 2. All right, so it's 2-2 with all you 4. And so now it's 3-2 Ben, 3-3, 4-3, 5-3, 5-4, 5-5, 5-6, 5-7, 6-7, 6-8.
Hmm.
6-9. Wow. I'm kind of surprised, but this is interesting. Jamie Foxx, I believe, has it by 3 votes right now, and I was going to go Ben Affleck. So that's 9-7. All right. What was that movie, that Ben Affleck movie where he was sort of went underground and it was in Europe and he had to get those people out of
Argo.
what was it called?
Argo.
Argo. Yes, that was a good movie.
Mhm.
I think he won an award for that. Am I right?
Yeah, he produced and directed the movie, I believe, and played in it.
Yeah. All right. Fox's work in Ray was outstanding. Yeah, that is for sure. All right. Argo says Tim. All right. I believe Jamie Foxx is moving on. The movie one, says Tim. Okay.
Okay.
Morgan Freeman or Hugh Grant?
Morgan Freeman, yeah.
I kind of had a feeling Morgan was maybe going to do pretty good on this one. All right.
I do like Hugh Grant, but I have to go with Morgan Freeman on this one.
Okay.
He's just got that iconic voice.
One of the busiest men ever. You hear him everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Everybody's saying Morgan Freeman for Emily, Donna, Nick, John, Annie, Keith, Jim, Jason, Gloria, and I think Alan Arkin won an Oscar for Argo. Oh, okay. Morgan Freeman says, Lisa, I heard he's doing a voiceover about the fire in Epcot. Tim, Morgan, easy. Morgan Freeman, easy. Hugh Grant, says Michelle. All right. Thank you, Michelle. We needed a sympathy vote. I love his voice, yes. Alan Arkin, right? Lisa. I remember watching Morgan Freeman on the Electric Company on PBS when I was a kid. Nah, I didn't know that either.
It's fun.
Yeah. All right. There is no question about that one. Morgan Freeman, moving on. And here's an interesting one. All right. What are you laughing about, Marielle?
Lisa.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Resort TV One was on, and there was somebody's name has a YouTube name called Moonshiner, and Lisa's like, "Hey, Moonshiner," and I go, "Lisa, speaking of moonshine, LOL or whatever," and Jenna saw it, and she goes, "I don't know what you're talking about moonshine, but that's funny." And Lisa and I were like, "Don't."
She noticed.
Oops.
That's good. All right. Speaking of moonshine. All right, we got votes coming in. So we got 1 for Ryan, 2 for Ryan. Neither, says Tim. Mark Wahlberg says Michelle. 2-2, 2-3, 3-3, 3-4, 4-4. So your guys are Mark Wahlberg. So 4-5, 4-6. Rachel, Mary Ellen, 4-7.
I think that you intentionally make it so it's 2 people I don't care about or 2 people that I'm like, man, it could go either way.
Yeah, that's exactly right. No, honestly, I don't know how they end up against each other. Goss.
Mark Wahlberg by a hair. Just
Okay. All right, hold on. I'm gonna have to recount this one. This one's gonna be tough. Okay. This StreamYard's misbehaving for me. 1, 2, 2 to 1, 2 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 5, 6 to 5, 7 to 5. And you said Mark Wahlberg, right, Rachel? So 7, 6, and both Scott and Steve said Mark Wahlberg, right?
Right.
So that means it's 8 to 7, Mark Wahlberg. Mary Ellen?
I said Mark Wahlberg too.
Okay, 9 to 7. Yeah, I think Ryan really started in The Notebook. He's doing so much now. Mark,
Right,
but
anywhere else he'd be a 10, but he's
Yeah.
just 10.
Mark, but I thought Gosling as Beavis on SNL. That was hilarious, Nick. That was funny. Ryan Gosling was hilarious as Ken in the Barbie movie. I never saw that one. Okay, I believe Mark Wahlberg has it. If anybody challenges me, let me know. All right, you guys, that is it for tonight. We are through the night. I would like to close by saying there was a fire at Epcot. It was in France. Rachel knows now, thankfully to us.
Yeah, I was enlightened.
Scott
You sparked something in my mind.
Scott now knows that there was a fire at Epcot, and Steve as well. And
Mhm.
thank you, Scott and Steve, for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It was always fun. Rachel, thanks for bopping in at the end. Mary Ellen, thank you very much.
No, thank you, Dean. It was fun. Fabulous.
And may I say, Mary Ellen will be going live this Wednesday night, but everyone here already knows that. So
Yeah, Scott and I may not be here Wednesday night because we've got this preseason volleyball game coming up.
You'll be at a volleyball game.
Yeah,
Well,
good luck.
If we don't go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Donna, you're welcome. Glad to let you know. Emily, it's what we do, you know. Annie, yes, there was. Time for some s'mores.
Every time you show the pictures of the actors, my mind goes movies that they were in.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we should do more of that.
The very first movie coming to my mind was Driving Miss Daisy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that was Morgan Freeman. Yeah.
Good luck in Vegas, John.
Yeah, John, have a great time. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for being here. It was fun as always. And we will see you guys next Saturday. See you at Mary Ellen's on Wednesday night. And have a great night. And I'm going to try to end the stream and do that. So bye.